I would like to shout out T Maxi for sending me this story right here that literally pisses me off in every which way. Um, I actually found out about the video itself because I couldn't open up the email when I was at work. I found out and saw the video on the Advice Show on Phil's Instagram account, where we have gone from Barbecue Becky, you know, the woman who called the cops on the black people who were barbecuing out in the park, to Permit Patty. Now, it involves this white woman who is like the same size as Barbecue Becky, and I think they might be related because they have the same staunch racism that just exudes off of the both of them like a bad stench. Where she called the cops on this 8-year-old girl who was selling water, you know, to people because it's hot outside. Now, let me just go ahead and play the clip for you so you can see what happened.
Cold water for $2.
This woman don't want to let a little girl sell some water. She calling police on an 8-year-old little girl. You can hide all you want. The whole world gonna see you, boo.
Yeah, and illegally selling water without a permit? Yeah.
On my property.
She said on her if you I had to cut it off right there because it was actually getting ready to go into something else. I thought it was going to play in a loop, but it didn't. But y'all can pretty much get the gist of it right there. It was a small, short Twitter video. Now, what if this little girl's cousin wasn't out there to record this? They would have came down and the police would have shut down that girl's water stand and probably tried to arrest the little girl. Because that was the person who was recording it was her older cousin. So good thing that her cousin was there. But the funniest part of this whole video was this chick trying to hide and duck behind that wall as if her fat ass couldn't be seen either way. She couldn't hide behind the wall of China, let alone that little brick wall she was trying to hide behind right here. Now, they are the same people that love to say black people need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and do this and do that. And when black people somehow do that and not to appease them, they still find a way to try to shut down everything that we do. But there's a history behind that. These are the same people that were known to bomb black successful towns and destroy everything that we had built, and then take whatever resources we had left and build up their own stuff and then say that they made it on their own. This is just basically the 2018 version of this. And this isn't the first time something like this happened. I remember a couple years ago, I forgot what event it was that happened in DC, where these black boys were selling water, and then somebody had called the police and said that they needed to come and shut them down because they were selling water without a permit. Now, I bet she wouldn't have done this to some white kids who maybe had a lemonade stand. She wouldn't have asked them about a permit then. Now, it was interesting because I saw a video, I think a couple months ago, where it was a black person had went up and was buying some lemonade, a lemonade from some little white boys who had a lemonade stand. And they said they was going to buy it. They was like, do y'all have a permit? They just kind of looked at him and was like, no. He's like, well, I'm going to call the cops on y'all because you can't sell lemonade without a permit. You should have saw the look on their faces. Now, it's amazing how that video didn't go viral because I think a lot of people took it as a comedy. But with them, it's very dangerous because they love doing stuff like this to either provoke us or to get us into a position that is very dangerous. Now, I wish we could have seen a whole video from this incident, sort of like with the Barbecue Becky situation, where that woman stayed on her ass for a good 30, almost 30 minutes to an hour with her antics. Now, I found out her name. This woman's name is Allison Edel. And guess what she does for a living? She sells weed edibles. Yes, weed edibles as in food that is not infested, but has weed inside of it. You know, to get them high. Most likely some kind of brownie of some sort. And she says, and it says that is sold to people and I think to pets. Now, this little 8-year-old girl is innocently selling water, which is not a crime, but this woman is selling weed edibles, which may be legal in the state of California, but she got a lot of nerve to get on the phone and call the cops because of that. But this is just how they operate. We mind our business. We don't mess with them or do anything to them. but they find a way to tiptoe their way into whatever it is we're doing and try to shut us down. A little girl though, she is a grown woman and she did all of this to a little 8-year-old girl. This is going to be that 8-year-old girl's first brush with racism. And she probably, unfortunately, doesn't even understand what happened. Her cousin knows what was going on. And it's going to be up to her to explain to her what just happened if she didn't understand it. But as far as this chick goes, she needs to be treated the same way Barbecue Becky was. You know how when Barbecue Becky, when she called them people, like those cops and everything like that, you know, because she said they were grilling without a permit or something like that. It always goes back to that permit. Basically, you know what it's also saying? It just dawned on me. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. This goes back to the slave code things. Basically, back then when the slaves got freed, they said they had to have some kind of freedom papers in order to do certain things. Now, fast forward to 2018, they're constantly saying that we need a permit to do this. We need a permit to do that. Because, you know, you need a license or a permit to drive. But that's one thing. But they're taking it into a whole nother space. But going back to what should happen. So, you know, with Barbecue Becky, what people did when that story went viral. And this one went viral too because they said the video was viewed like 1.5 million times. What they need to do is like with Barbecue Becky, where they had all the people come out there and have like one big cookout in that same park. They need to find, like, all the people need to find out about this story right here and have a whole bunch of little kids come out and set up lemonade stands or water stands and just sell water and lemonade on that entire strip. And of course, make memes out of this bitch. The screenshot you see right on your screen would be a perfect example to start. All you got to do is add some words to it because we made fun of Barbecue Becky for a good minute. She can be up next. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you in the next one. I'm so glad that I was able to find out this additional information before I decided to upload this video. I found this out as I was on my way back from the gym this morning. So it turns out that Permit Patty, aka Allison Edel, was operating her own business without a permit her damn self. I'm telling you, Black Twitter might be problematic in some ways, but if there's one thing that I know that they're good for, they know how to form up like the FBI / Interpol / U.S. Marshals / CIA / the IRS to find out information when it comes to dealing with these races, especially the ones that mess with our kids. This woman was running her dispensary or whatever kind of business it was. You can kind of see it on the left and far right pictures on a don't ask, don't tell basis. Basically, she was running it illegally herself and then had the nerve to call the cops on an 8-year-old girl because she was allegedly selling water without a permit. If that's not some hypocritical stuff, I don't know what is. But I found out this as well. This woman is losing clients left and right behind this. Black Twitter done got her so scared that she done shut down her Facebook page, her Instagram page. And the reason why I know her Instagram page is no longer there is because people found out who she was last night. And I clicked on the link and all that I got was a swirling circle, meaning it was constantly loading, meaning it was nothing there. Now, somebody said that her Twitter account is still there, but they said it looks like it hasn't been active in quite some time. So it's like, whatever. But that's how you do it. Expose them for what they are. See, she loses clients, she loses money. And it exposed her for who she is. That's why she was trying to hide herself. That's why she was walking away when the girl had pulled the camera out on her. Because she didn't want her face out there because she knew that if it had got out there like that, oh, she probably would have lost business. And from the sounds of it, it looks like that's exactly what's happening. So good for her. That's exactly what she gets.